For those that are asking question, okay, how do I know if I'm buying a genuine part? How do I know? I think it's just to give you a broad explanation of how the spare part industry is in Nigeria. So currently in Nigeria, we don't have any spare part manufacturers. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
But from what I know, we actually don't have, let me just use the word, enough spare part manufacturers in Nigeria. So most of our parts, maybe 90%, are actually imported. Yeah. The three basic categories of spare parts you have is the OEM, the aftermarket,
right,
and then the inferior. Yeah, the one you guys call China.
Fake.
Yeah. So the OEM, with the OEM, is really pretty straightforward. If you actually want to get an OEM spare part, you usually get that mostly from the dealership.
Yeah.
The other places you can get OEM spare parts is actually in the open market, but it's not all vendors that have OEM spare parts. Most of them, what they have is inferior spare parts. These are inferior products, then packaged as the OEM, and they sell it to you as OEM. Of course, yes, most of them actually do have the OEM, but they are really, really rare. That's because the market for the OEM is not that wide. Rather, the OEM spare parts does not really sell as much as the inferior and the aftermarket. Yeah. So even the spare part vendors that are usually selling OEMs, most of them are now switching or adding aftermarket and inferior to their products. So they have the OEM, they have the aftermarket, and they have the inferior. They will ask you which one do you want. So there are just few of them that would be sincere and tell you exactly what they are selling to you. The other part is the aftermarket. There are some brands that are actually trustworthy and that have been tested okay. I know several, I might not mention it on this
because they are not paying us for promo.
So they are, and then most of those aftermarket brands are known by the mechanics and even the vendors also. So if you have a very good mechanic, they can advise you on which aftermarket brands to go for, because the aftermarket, most of them actually serve the same function but at a lesser price. Yeah. So your mechanic or the vendor would know which aftermarket products have been tested and trusted. Then the last one you have is the inferior. Those ones actually will cost you more money because they will not last. Of course, you know all the experience you've had with fake spares.
Right. And then you're back in the workshop in no time.
Yeah. But most people do actually prefer the inferior because of financial constraints. Okay, how long? So let me give an instance. Yeah, the OEM battery for a Mercedes might cost you about ₦1 million, and then by experience, the OEM battery does maybe 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So let me use 6 years for OEM batteries, and it's ₦1 million. You can buy an inferior battery that will do you 1 year or 2 years for 150,000, right? Or let's say 100,000 naira. An inferior battery that will do you 2 years for 100,000 naira. So I can say, oh, since it will serve me for 2 years, why don't I just buy 3 for 300k?
Is anybody paying you to say this?
So I use it every 2 years instead of buying the one that will last me for 6 years for ₦1 million. So people weigh their options based on their pockets. Yeah, so these are what you have. Just know that if you are going for OEM, your pocket has to be large, and this is the cost. It's not everybody in Nigeria that buys a new vehicle. That's because of the size of their pocket. It's the same thing with spare parts. It's not everybody that buys OEM. It's not everybody that buys aftermarket. Most people go for inferior because of the cost. Do you understand? So whichever one suits your pocket, it all boils down to duration. The fake one can fail you at any time, would spoil quicker. The aftermarket, very, very okay, but it's not like the OEM. probably might not have warranty, or your warranty cover is low. Of course, the OEM will give you good warranty. Your warranty is guaranteed, but for most aftermarket, your warranties are not guaranteed. Do you understand? Because you can also have,
you could just be moving or driving and then the car just stops.
Yeah, you can also have like factory error in some cases.
Yeah.
OEM do have factory error. The same thing with aftermarket. You can also have factory errors. So decide based on how large your pocket is. But I hope this video has been able to give you a broad understanding of how the spare parts market world is in Nigeria.
I have nothing to say. Richard nailed it. I think his closing statement should be an episode on its own. Real great talk. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe, like this video, comment on this video, and share it. Why? Because I'm sure you got value. So tons of people, other people you know, would also get value from this video. From me to you, I'm about to turn my mic off. If Richard wants to talk, I'll let him.
Yeah, we can talk for hours, but I gotta go to bed.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Peace out.